Namaste, hello and welcome back to another video on Hamsavahini, Vajraasthra. I'm Awhona and today's video is going to be about my TBR for Dark December 2024, which is a month-long readathon happening on Booktube all throughout December, and this has been created and hosted by Luna from the Cottagegoth. I'll leave a link to her announcement video in the description box below as well as in the overhead cards above for all of you to cross-check. So if you're curious to know which books I'm about to read for this readathon, do please join me further in this video. So now let's come around to the bingo board, which Luna has created for us. So this is a 16 prompt bingo board and it's very exciting. And I have tried to go along with the bingo board. So my aim is to try and see if I can get all the prompts. However, what I've done is I've divided my TBR into two sections, one in which I'll be pairing up the prompts and one in which I have a few books which are for a single prompt. So let's see where I get from here. And the first book, which I'll be reading, is called, or in fact listening to on audio, is called Green Tea by Sheridan Fanu. This is an Irish classic and it is all about the consumption of green tea, which opens up the pineal gland and opens up the third eye, and the eeriness and horror which follow after being able to observe the surrounding, which may not be very positive, and it may be surrounded by a world of spirits and ghosts and hauntings, etc., is what the story is all about. And this ticks off the prompt tea, short story and classic. Now the next book which I'll be focusing on is called I Feed Her to the Beast and the Beast is Me, and this is by Jamison Shea, and it's kind of, the cover is kind of red, so I thought this would go along with it. In fact, this is a part of a duology. This is only part one, and this is a story about the struggles of a girl from the African diaspora who is settled in Paris, and she's trying to come up in a competitive way for her dance, which is ballet, and the struggles which she has to face, and the fact that in order to ensure that she reaches the top, she tries to get in touch, or in fact there is a underground entity or a paranormal entity who tries to have a union with her, a union in the sense tries to be with her and helps her to reach her goals, but there is a pact which is drawn between this girl and this entity in the catacombs underground of Paris, and what follows are monstrosities. So whether she drowns in these monstrosities or she manages to keep them at bay is what the story is all about. So this is just part one of the duology, and this ticks off the prompt red cover and BIPOC. So that would be the second book. Now the third book which I'm about to read, in fact I have already started it because I have used this book for another readathon which has just ended, which is Jingle Bellathon, but unfortunately I'm not through with this book as yet, but I've enjoyed reading this book so far. It is called Foxwife by Yangtze Chu, and this is all about a shapeshifter fox mother who is traveling from Manchuria in the north of China to Japan in search of the murderer of her shapeshifting child. So her child is unfortunately murdered, and she has to look for the murderer to seek revenge, otherwise her mother's heart is not set at rest. There are other consequences which follow as well, and this is what the story is all about. It's very interesting, and this ticks off the prompt Japan, because our protagonist travels from North China to Japan, and of course there's travel over here because the first scene in this book opens with travel. Now the fourth book which I'll be reading is called Make the Season Bright by Ashley Herring Blake, and I absolutely love this cover. It's absolutely beautiful, and this is a holiday romance, and this does tick off the prompt LGBTQ and holiday season. So in this story, we have a musician who was ditched at the altar by her lover and or her ex by her fiance, and she is heartbroken, and in order to recuperate she starts her own band. She's a musician, and 5 years later she is coaxed by one of her musician friends' mother to go for a holiday, and in this holiday she bumps into her ex-fiance who ditched her um, in the at the altar, and sparks fly off and old memories start going through, and this is what the story is all about. So quite excited for this one, and I think somebody just rang the bell. Okay, so I'm back. That was just somebody trying to sell something at the doorstep. But anyway, let's get back. And the fifth book, which I'll be reading, is called The Traveling Cat Chronicles by Hiro Anikawe. And it's got a cat on the cover. And I don't know much about this book, but it has been on my bookshelf for quite some time. And this is about a cat who travels with his master, and the master is actually going to meet his friends, his old friends, and it's all about love and hope and getting together and integrity and accepting each other despite all challenges in the past. So I believe this has been told from the, I don't know, I'm not too sure about it, but then yes, there's a cat involved, and it's a beautiful story, also what I've heard, and let's see how it goes from here. Now, this book ticks off the prompt cat, travel, and Japan. So I do have Japan and travel being ticked off in two of my books. Now, let's come around to the single books. Now, when I mentioned single books, these are those books which go with single prompts, because I could not find most of them for, I mean, they did not fulfill multiple prompts, of course. But the first book which I'll be reading is called, which fulfills a single prompt, is The Last Ritual by Ursa Sigurdardottir. I hope I've got the pronunciation correct. Now, this is about the murder of a young man, and an attorney who, with the help of an ex-policeman, tries to find out the reasons for the murder. It's a gruesome murder wherein the eyes of the young man are gouged out, and there's a strange symbol which has been carved into his body. So this leads the investigators, who are the attorney as well as the policeman, ex-policeman, to find out the happenings around the area, and it leads them to an old village which was full of witches, and there were witch hunts and witches were burnt, and the story goes on from here. So this is actually for the Nordic prompt. So I'm quite excited about it because Ursa Sigurdardottir is a Nordic author. So I was actually quite interested with her premise, with the premise of this book. So let's see where it goes from here. Now, the next book, which I'll be listening to again, is Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman. And this is, of course, about Norse mythology. In fact, I have started listening to this. So I listened to this during my morning walks. And I am absolutely new to Norse mythology. And I am quite fascinated about the fact that of the Norse world of creation, as well as how Odin came into existence, who Loki was, and what was the function of Thor, because I've seen the movies but I had no idea what they were about. So as I'm proceeding with this book, with the audiobook, it's actually becoming quite clear, and I'm fascinated by the world tree, and it's absolutely wonderful. So I'm hoping I'll be able to enjoy it further as well. Now, the next book which I'll be reading is for the prompt The Night Sky, and this is The Moonstone by Laura Purcell. So I am not sure about the premise of this book, except the fact that it is a gothic werewolf story. Whether or not it is a retelling of Little Red Riding Hood is something which I'm unaware of, but this is about a girl who is sent to stay with her godmother and her daughter, and there's a strange illness which is affecting the daughter of the godmother. So no, everybody seems to be keeping a secret, and there is a werewolf love story in it. So let's see how it goes, and it's dark and it's a gothic romance. And the next book which I'll be reading is for the prompt graphic novel, and this is called Fear and the Last Snow Deer by Elish Fisher. It's been illustrated by Dermot Flynn, and it's a very nice book, and I absolutely love the artwork which was associated with it. It's absolutely beautiful. I hope you can see it. And I believe this is a story about a girl and her snow deer who are linked together because they are born under the same moon, and there is a sacrifice which is demanded by the villagers, and there is also a prophecy that perhaps it is the the snow deer as well as this girl who can save the village, and there are no more sacrifices required. So this is how the story goes, but let's see. And the last book, which will be fulfilling the prompt of science fiction, is Snow Globe by So Young Park. Now, this is a book which I did read for Jingle Bellathon, and it's absolutely amazing. But since I read this during the month of December, so I will be using this book as well. So there is a little bit of it left, so I will try and fit this in the science fiction section. So this is a dystopian thriller, and I'll talk more about this book when I come around to my wrap up. So you can definitely look forward to it. So those are the books that I plan on reading. Do let me know what you thought about this TBR, and also about this video, if you enjoyed it or not. Your comments are really valuable to improving my videos, and I would love to hear from you. And do please leave your comments in the comment section below. So with that, I'll be wrapping up this video. I'll see you soon next week with another video. So till then, take care, have a good reading week ahead, and namaste.